Listen up. When you reach the top, all the rewards, everything from the bottom to the top, will be there waiting for you. So, don't get caught up in chasing cars and money. Those things will come. What I need you to focus on is why you were born in the first place. Why are you here on earth right now? What's your purpose? I don't need to remind you that you owe yourself something. I don't want anything from you, except for you to walk out of this room knowing what you want. What do you want in your marriage? What do you want for your children? What do you want for your health? What are your financial goals? How much money do you want to earn? What do you want to drive? How do you want to live? Stop drifting through life like it's an accident. What do you want? And once you know, spend every day of your life going after it. The reason I speak with such passion, with such authority, is because I'm talking about my own life, not something I've read. I've been through the struggle. You don't need to come from a wealthy background to succeed. Look at the rich kids who fall into bad company or even take their own lives. It's not about the hand you're dealt, it's how you play it. Every opportunity is a chance to prove yourself again. I'm still nervous every time, because the moment you get comfortable, the moment you stop pushing yourself, you start dying. The decisions I make now are up to me. Stop crying over what happened in your childhood. You're an adult now. Take full ownership of your life. The mistakes you make are on you. Your parents didn't make you play video games or be lazy. It's time to step up and take responsibility. You may be knocking on doors 100 times and feeling defeated because you've never given 100% before. To break through, you'll need to give 120%. You have to fight and keep fighting. Most people fail not because they lack talent, but because they can't outlast their old self to become their new self. Every day, we face demands. The reason you're not where you want to be isn't because you're not great. It's because you're prioritizing everyone else's demands over your own. Raise your hand if you're committed to making a change today. Say it with me. From this day forward, I make a commitment to myself like never before. I'm going to grind, fight, work, push, learn, and do everything in my power every single day. Winning spreads. Winners have a certain energy. They don't make excuses. They find ways to win. How do we do it? We wake up and grind. Winners win because they focus on winning more than on structure. When you become a winner, you'll find yourself surrounded by winners. We want guarantees from others, but are unwilling to make guarantees to ourselves. You get upset if a product doesn't deliver on its 30-day guarantee, but you've never demanded the same from yourself. Look in the mirror and hold yourself accountable. Stop letting yourself down. It's time to be brave and take responsibility for your life. Your DNA is in your dreams. So why waste that power on superficial things like money and cars? If you believe you're here for a greater purpose, why aren't you pursuing it? Dreaming is crucial. No matter your level, keep dreaming. Those who dream big lead different, more fulfilling lives. Don't sabotage yourself with fear. It's not real. Overcome it by dreaming about what you can become. Many of you spend your life doing what others want you to do, but you'll never excel that way. Be selfish about your dreams. Know who you are and what you want to achieve. This is the lesson millennials need. They've seen previous generations work hard for material things. But it's time to focus on more than just stuff. Be selfish in dreaming, because you can't help others if you're not whole yourself. Demand more from yourself and make a commitment to your dreams. Remember, we demand guarantees from others, but not from ourselves. Hold yourself accountable. Your success depends on your commitment to your values and dreams. Dream big, work hard, and refuse to let yourself down. Your DNA is in your dream. Embrace it and live up to it. Now let me take you deeper into what this all means. It's not just about identifying your dreams. It's about understanding why those dreams matter to you. Why do you want to achieve those things? What will they bring you? How will they change your life and the lives of those around you? You need to dig deep into your soul and ask yourself these questions. The answers will fuel your journey. They will keep you going when things get tough. And trust me, things will get tough. There will be days when you feel like giving up. Days when you're exhausted, frustrated, and questioning why you're even bothering. That's when you need to remember your why. That's when you need to dig in and push harder. Because those tough days are the days that will define you. They are the days that will test your resolve and your commitment to your dreams. Every successful person you admire has been through those days. They didn't give up. They didn't quit. They kept pushing forward, no matter how hard it got. And that's what you need to do. You need to keep going, keep pushing, keep fighting, because that's what it takes to achieve greatness. And don't be afraid to fail. Failure is a part of the process. It's how you learn and grow. Every failure brings you one step closer to success. So embrace it. Learn from it. Use it as fuel to keep moving forward. Remember, you are in control of your destiny. You have the power to shape your future. Don't let anyone or anything hold you back. Don't let fear or doubt stop you from achieving your dreams. Believe in yourself and your ability to succeed, because you can do it. You have what it takes. You just need to keep going, keep pushing, and never give up. So take a moment to think about your dreams. What do you want to achieve? What will it take to get there? And most importantly, why does it matter to you? Write it down. Keep it somewhere you can see it every day. Let it be a constant reminder of what you're working towards. And let it be the fuel that keeps you going, no matter how tough it gets. And remember, you're not alone on this journey. There are people who believe in you and want to see you succeed. Surround yourself with those people. Let their support and encouragement lift you up when you're feeling down. Let their belief in you reinforce your own belief in yourself. But also remember that ultimately, this is your journey. It's up to you to make it happen. No one else can do it for you. So take responsibility for your life and your dreams. Take control of your future and go after it with everything you got. You owe it to yourself to give it your all. You owe it to yourself to live a life that is true to who you are and what you want. So don't settle for anything less. Don't let fear or doubt hold you back. Don't let anyone else's expectations or opinions dictate your life. This is your journey. This is your life. And you have the power to make it whatever you want it to be. So go out there and make it happen. Dream big, work hard, and never give up. Because you can do it. You have what it takes. And you deserve to live the life of your dreams. Once you've identified your dreams and your why, you need to develop a plan. This plan should be detailed and actionable. Break your big goals into smaller, manageable steps. Each step should bring you closer to your ultimate goal. Think of this plan as your roadmap. It will guide you and keep you on track. Without a plan, it's easy to get lost or sidetracked. But with a plan, you have a clear path to follow. You know what you need to do and when you need to do it. And that makes it much easier to stay focused and motivated. But remember, your plan is not set in stone. Life happens. Things change. And you need to be flexible and adaptable. Be ready to adjust your plan as needed. Be open to new opportunities and new ways of doing things. But always keep your ultimate goal in mind. Always keep your why at the forefront of your mind. And don't forget to celebrate your progress. Every step you take is a step in the right direction. Every small win brings you closer to your ultimate goal. So take the time to acknowledge and celebrate your progress. It will keep you motivated and remind you that you're moving forward. And finally, never stop learning and growing. The journey to achieving your dreams is a journey of personal growth and development. Keep pushing yourself to be better. Keep challenging yourself to learn new things and develop new skills. The more you grow, the more capable you become. And the more capable you become, the closer you get to achieving your dreams.
Have you ever been told that kindness is a virtue? That being kind will bring you happiness, success, and fulfillment? Well, I'm here to tell you that kindness can actually ruin your life. Yes, you heard me right. Kindness can be your downfall. Let me explain how. First, when you're too kind, people start to take advantage of you. They see your kindness as a weakness and they'll exploit it for their own gain. They'll ask for favors, borrow money, and expect you to drop everything to help them. And because you're kind, you'll say yes, even when it's inconvenient or detrimental to your own well-being. You'll find yourself stretched thin, exhausted, and resentful, all because you couldn't say no. I've seen it happen time and time again. People who are too kind end up being taken for granted. They're the ones who are always there for others, but when they need help themselves, no one is around. They give and give until they have nothing left to give. And then they're left alone and empty. But it's not just about being taken advantage of. When you're too kind, you also miss out on opportunities to stand up for yourself and assert your own needs. You're so busy putting others first that you forget about your own dreams and goals. You sacrifice your own happiness for the sake of others, and in the end, you're left with nothing but regrets. Second, kindness can make you a pushover. When you're always putting others' needs before your own, you send a message that your own needs don't matter. People will start to expect you to agree with them, to go along with their plans, and to never rock the boat. They'll see you as someone who can be easily manipulated and controlled. And when you do try to assert yourself, people will be shocked and offended. They'll accuse you of being selfish or unkind because they've come to expect you to always put their needs first. They'll guilt trip you into submission, and you'll find yourself right back where you started, a doormat for others to walk all over. I know it's hard to break out of this pattern. It feels good to be liked and appreciated, and it's tempting to keep doing what others expect of you. But in the long run, it's not sustainable. You'll end up feeling resentful, unfulfilled, and even angry. You'll start to question why you're always the one making sacrifices, and you'll wonder what your life would be like if you put yourself first for once. Third, kindness can hold you back from success. In today's cutthroat world, nice guys often finish last. To get ahead, you need to be assertive, competitive, and sometimes even ruthless. You need to be willing to take risks, to make tough decisions, and to put your own interests first. But when you're too kind, you're often hesitant to do these things. You don't want to step on anyone's toes or hurt anyone's feelings. You don't want to be seen as aggressive or selfish. So you hold back, you play it safe, and you miss out on opportunities to advance your career or achieve your goals. I've seen so many talented, hardworking people get passed over for promotions or big breaks because they were too nice. They didn't want to rock the boat or ruffle any feathers, so they stayed quiet and let others take the credit. They didn't want to be seen as cutthroat or competitive, so they didn't go after what they really wanted. But here's the thing, success isn't handed out based on who's the nicest. It's earned through hard work, determination, and a willingness to take risks. If you're always putting others first and sacrificing your own ambitions, you'll never reach your full potential. You'll always be held back by your own kindness. Fourth, and perhaps most importantly, kindness can prevent you from being honest and authentic. When you're too focused on being kind and not hurting anyone's feelings, you start to censor yourself. You hold back your true thoughts and opinions, and you present a watered-down version of yourself to the world. But here's the thing people can sense when you're not being genuine. They can tell when you're holding back or sugarcoating the truth. And over time, they start to lose trust in you. They start to wonder what you really think and feel, and they question whether they can rely on you to be honest with them. Moreover, when you're constantly suppressing your true self in the name of kindness, you start to lose touch with who you really are. You become disconnected from your own thoughts, feelings, and desires. You start to feel like a fraud, like you're living someone else's life instead of your own. And that's no way to live. It's exhausting, unfulfilling, and ultimately unsustainable. You can't be truly happy or successful if you're not being true to yourself. You can't build deep, meaningful relationships if you're not being honest and authentic. So what's the solution? How can you avoid the pitfalls of kindness while still being a good person? The answer is simple balance. You need to find a way to be kind and compassionate while also setting boundaries and taking care of yourself. That means learning to say no when you need to, even if it feels uncomfortable at first. It means speaking up for yourself and asserting your own needs and desires, even if it means ruffling a few feathers. It means being honest and authentic, even if it means having difficult conversations or facing some conflict. It's not easy, I know. It takes practice and courage to break out of the pattern of overkindness, but trust me, it's worth it. When you learn to balance kindness with self-care and authenticity, you'll be amazed at how much better your life becomes. You'll have more energy and enthusiasm for the things that matter to you. You'll build deeper, more meaningful relationships with people who truly value and respect you. You'll achieve more success and fulfillment in your career and personal life. And most importantly, you'll feel more at peace with yourself and the world around you. So don't let kindness ruin your life. Learn to be kind in a way that nurtures and supports your own well-being. Set boundaries, speak your truth, and take care of yourself first. Because at the end of the day, the greatest kindness you can show to the world is to be the best, most authentic version of yourself. And that, my friends, is how kindness can ruin your life if you're not careful. But it doesn't have to be that way. With a little wisdom and a lot of courage, you can learn to be kind in a way that empowers and uplifts you. So go out there and be kind, but remember to be kind to yourself first. Because when you do that, everything else will fall into place. Let me share a personal story with you. When I was younger, I used to be the epitome of kindness. I would go out of my way to help others, even if it meant sacrificing my own time, energy, and resources. I thought that being kind would make me happy and fulfilled, but instead it left me feeling drained and resentful. I remember one particular instance where a friend asked me to help them move. I had my own plans that weekend, but I didn't want to let them down. So I canceled my plans and spent the entire weekend lugging heavy boxes and furniture up and down stairs. By the end of it, I was exhausted and sore, and I felt like I had wasted my precious free time. But that wasn't the worst part. The worst part was that my friend didn't even seem particularly grateful. They thanked me briefly, but then they went on with their life as if nothing had happened. Meanwhile, I was left feeling used and unappreciated. That experience was a wake-up call for me. I realized that I had been so focused on being kind to others that I had neglected to be kind to myself. I had put everyone else's needs before my own, and as a result, I was burning out. From that moment on, I started to make a conscious effort to balance my kindness with self-care. I started saying no to requests that didn't align with my own priorities and values. I started setting boundaries with people who tried to take advantage of my kindness. And I started being more honest and authentic in my interactions with others. It wasn't easy at first. I felt guilty and selfish for putting my own needs first. I worried that people would think I was unkind or uncaring. But as I continued to practice this new way of being, I started to see the benefits. I had more energy and enthusiasm for the things that mattered to me. I felt more confident and self-assured in my interactions with others. And perhaps most importantly, I started attracting people into my life who appreciated and respected me for who I truly was. One of the biggest lessons I learned through this process was the importance of setting boundaries. I realized that being kind didn't mean saying yes to everything and everyone. In fact, sometimes the kindest thing you can do is to say no. When you set boundaries, you're communicating to others what you will and will not tolerate. You're telling them that you value yourself and your own needs and that you expect to be treated with respect and consideration. And when you do that, you create space for healthier, more balanced relationships in your life. Of course, setting boundaries isn't always easy. It can be uncomfortable and even scary at times. But the more you practice it, the easier it becomes. And the payoff is well worth the effort. Another important lesson I learned was the power of authenticity. When you're too focused on being kind and pleasing others, it's easy to lose sight of who you really are. You start to mold yourself into what you think others want you to be, rather than being true to yourself. But here's the thing people can sense when you're not being genuine. They can tell when you're holding back or pretending to be someone you're not. And over time, that lack of authenticity can erode trust and connection in your relationships. On the other hand, when you're honest and authentic, you create space for real, meaningful connection. You allow others to see the real you, flaws and all. And when you do that, you build deeper, more intimate relationships based on trust and mutual understanding. Of course, being authentic doesn't mean being rude or insensitive. It's important to balance honesty with tact and compassion. But it does mean speaking your truth even when it's difficult or uncomfortable. Ultimately, the key to avoiding the pitfalls of kindness is to find a balance between taking care of others and taking care of yourself. It's about learning to be kind in a way that feels authentic and sustainable, rather than draining and depleting. And the good news is, when you do that, everyone benefits. When you take care of yourself first, you have more energy and resources to give to others. When you set healthy boundaries, you create space for more fulfilling and reciprocal relationships. And when you're honest and authentic, you inspire others to do the same. So if you're someone who struggles with being too kind for your own good, I encourage you to start small. Start by saying no to one request that doesn't align with your priorities. Start by setting one boundary with someone who tends to take advantage of your kindness. Start by being honest about one thing that you've been holding back. And as you continue to practice these new ways of being, be patient with yourself. Remember that change takes time, and there will be moments of discomfort and even resistance along the way. But trust that by being kind to yourself first, you're ultimately being kind to everyone else in your life as well. Because here's the truth, the world needs more kindness, but it also needs more people who are willing to be kind to themselves. It needs more people who are willing to set boundaries, speak their truth, and take care of their own needs. And when we all start doing that, we create a ripple effect of positive change that extends far beyond ourselves. So go out there and be kind, but remember to be kind to yourself first. Remember that your own needs and desires matter just as much as anyone else's. And remember that by taking care of yourself, you're ultimately taking care of the world around you as well. And if you ever find yourself feeling guilty or selfish for putting yourself first, just remember this: the greatest gift you can give to the world is a happy, healthy, authentic version of yourself. So don't be afraid to prioritize your own well-being, even if it means ruffling a few feathers along the way. Because at the end of the day, kindness isn't about being perfect or pleasing everyone around you. It's about being true to yourself and treating others with compassion and respect. And when you learn to balance those two things, you'll find that kindness becomes a source of strength and empowerment, rather than a burden or a weakness. So let's all commit to being kind in a way that feels authentic and sustainable. Let's set boundaries, speak our truth, and take care of ourselves first. And let's trust that by doing so, we're creating a world that is kinder, more compassionate, and more connected than ever before. Thank you for listening to my story and my thoughts on this topic. I hope that my words have resonated with you in some way, and that you'll take them to heart as you navigate your own journey with kindness. Remember, you matter just as much as anyone else, and your own needs and desires are valid and important. So be kind to yourself and watch as that kindness ripples out into the world around you. Thank you. Hey there, let's talk about something that's been on my mind lately: emotionally detaching from someone. It's a tough subject, I know, but it's so important to understand how to do this in a healthy way. Because the truth is, sometimes we find ourselves in situations where we need to create some distance between ourselves and another person, whether it's a romantic partner, a friend, or even a family member. Now, I want to be clear, I'm not talking about completely cutting someone out of your life. That's not always necessary or even advisable. What I'm talking about is learning how to set boundaries, how to protect your own emotional well-being, and how to avoid getting too caught up in someone else's drama or negativity. So let's dive in. The first rule of emotionally detaching from someone is to recognize when it's necessary. This can be tricky because our emotions can cloud our judgment. We might feel loyal to someone even when they're treating us poorly. We might feel guilty about pulling away even when it's the healthiest thing for us to do. But here's the thing, you have to trust your gut. If you're feeling drained, anxious, or unhappy after spending time with someone, that's a red flag. If you're constantly making excuses for their behavior or trying to fix their problems, that's another sign that you might need to step back. The second rule is to set clear boundaries. This means communicating your needs and expectations clearly and firmly. It might mean saying no to certain requests or invitations. It might mean limiting the amount of time you spend with someone or the topics you're willing to discuss with them. The key is to be assertive without being aggressive. You don't need to be mean or confrontational, but you do need to be direct. Remember, setting boundaries isn't about punishing the other person, it's about taking care of yourself. The third rule is to focus on your own growth and happiness. When we're emotionally entangled with someone, it's easy to lose sight of our own needs and goals. We might put their desires ahead of our own or neglect our own self-care in order to be there for them. But the truth is, you can't pour from an empty cup. If you're not taking care of yourself physically, mentally, and emotionally, you won't have anything to give to others. So make sure you're prioritizing your own well-being. Pursue your passion, spend time with people who uplift you, and practice self-compassion. The fourth rule is to let go of the need to control the situation or the other person. This can be especially hard if you're a natural caretaker or problem solver. You might feel responsible for the other person's happiness or success, or you might worry that if you're not there to help them, something terrible will happen. But the reality is you can't control anyone else's life or choices. You can offer support and guidance, but ultimately they have to take responsibility for their own actions and consequences. Trying to control the situation will only lead to frustration and resentment on both sides. The fifth and final rule is to give yourself permission to move on. This doesn't necessarily mean ending the relationship altogether, although in some cases that might be necessary. What it means is allowing yourself to let go of the emotional attachment and create a new dynamic that works better for you. This might involve spending less time together, being less emotionally invested, or even just changing the way you think about the relationship. It's okay to grieve the loss of what you had, but don't let that grief hold you back from creating something new and better. Now, I know that emotionally detaching from someone is easier said than done. It can be a long and difficult process, especially if you have a history with that person or if you're prone to people pleasing. But I promise you, it's worth it. When you learn how to set healthy boundaries and prioritize your own well-being, you free yourself up to create more fulfilling relationships and pursue your own dreams. You stop wasting energy on people and situations that don't serve you and start investing in the things that truly matter to you. So if you're struggling to emotionally detach from someone right now, I want you to know that you're not alone. It's a common challenge that many of us face at some point in our lives. But I also want you to know that you have the strength and the wisdom within you to handle it with grace and resilience. Start by taking small steps. Set one boundary at a time. Practice self-care every day, even if it's just for a few minutes. Surround yourself with people who support and encourage you. And most importantly, be patient and compassionate with yourself. Remember, emotionally detaching from someone doesn't mean you're heartless or uncaring. It means you're wise enough to know when a relationship is no longer serving you and brave enough to do something about it. It means you value yourself enough to create the kind of life and connections that truly nourish and inspire you. So keep going, keep learning and growing and trusting yourself, and know that on the other side of this challenge lies a whole world of possibility and joy. You've got this, and you deserve nothing less than the very best. Now, I want to take a moment to acknowledge that emotionally detaching from someone can be incredibly painful, especially if it's someone you care about deeply. It's natural to feel a sense of loss or grief, even if you know it's the right thing to do. But here's the thing, that pain is a sign that you're growing. It's a sign that you're breaking free from old patterns and beliefs that no longer serve you. It's a sign that you're creating space for something new and better to come into your life. So don't run from the pain. Don't try to numb it or avoid it. Instead, lean into it. Allow yourself to feel it fully without judgment or resistance. Cry if you need to. Scream into a pillow. Write in a journal. Do whatever you need to do to express and release those emotions in a healthy way. And then, when you're ready, start to focus on the future. Start to imagine what kind of life you want to create for yourself and what kind of relationships you want to attract. Use the pain as fuel to propel you forward towards your deepest desires and highest potential. Because here's the thing, you are not defined by your past relationships or experiences. You are not limited by the choices you've made or the challenges you face. You have the power to create your own reality, to shape your own destiny, and to choose who you want to be in this world. So don't let anyone else's negativity or dysfunction hold you back. Don't let your own fears or doubts keep you stuck in a cycle of unhealthy attachments. Trust your instincts, honor your boundaries, and keep moving forward one step at a time. And remember, you are never alone on this journey. There are people out there who will love and support you unconditionally, who will celebrate your successes and comfort you in your failures. Seek them out. Surround yourself with them. Let them remind you of your own strengths and beauty, even when you can't see it yourself. Because at the end of the day, emotionally detaching from someone is not about rejecting love or connection. It's about creating space for the right kind of love and connection to enter your life. It's about saying yes to yourself, yes to your dreams, and yes to the incredible possibilities that lie ahead. So keep going, my friend. Keep growing and learning and evolving. Keep opening your heart to the magic and mystery of this beautiful, messy, complicated world we live in. And know that whatever challenges you face, whatever obstacles you encounter, you have the resilience and the courage to overcome them and to create a life that truly lights you up from the inside out. In the end, emotionally detaching from someone is not about losing something or someone. It's about gaining something, a deeper sense of self, a clearer vision of what you want, and a greater capacity for true, authentic, soul-level connection. It's about learning to love yourself first so that you can love others more fully and freely. It's about creating boundaries that protect your energy and your peace so that you can show up in the world as your best and brightest self. And it's about trusting the journey, even when it feels hard or scary or uncertain. Because the truth is, life is too short to stay stuck in relationships or situations that don't truly nourish and inspire us. We all deserve to feel seen, heard, and valued for who we are. We all deserve to have relationships that uplift us, challenge us, and help us grow into the fullest expression of ourselves. So if you're in the process of emotionally detaching from someone right now, I want you to know that I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you for being brave enough to listen to your own heart, even when it's telling you something difficult or painful. I'm proud of you for being willing to let go of what no longer serves you, even when it feels scary or uncertain. And I'm proud of you for taking a stand for your own happiness and well-being, even when the world around you might not understand or support your choices. Keep going, my friend. Keep trusting yourself. Keep honoring your own needs and desires, and keep moving forward with courage and conviction. Because on the other side of this challenge lies a whole new world, a possibility, a world where you get to create the kind of life and love that truly sets your soul on fire. And remember, no matter what happens, no matter how hard things get, you are never alone. You are surrounded by a universe that loves you, supports you, and wants to see you thrive. You are connected to a power and a presence that is greater than any obstacle or challenge you could ever face. So lean into that power. Trust in that presence, and know that whatever happens, you have the strength, the wisdom, and the resilience to handle it with grace and ease. You've got this, my friend, and I'm cheering you on every step of the way. It's important to remember that healing is not a linear process. There will be days when you feel strong and empowered, and there will be days when you feel sad, angry, or confused. There will be moments when you question your decision, and moments when you feel more certain than ever that you're doing the right thing. And that's okay. That's all part of the process. The key is to keep moving forward, even when it feels hard or uncomfortable. To keep showing up for yourself, even when you don't feel like it. And to keep believing in your own worth and value, even when others might try to convince you otherwise. One of the most important things you can do as you navigate this process is to surround yourself with a strong support system. This might include friends, family members, or even a therapist or counselor who can offer guidance and perspective. It's okay to lean on others for help and support when you need it. In fact, it's a sign of strength and courage to do so. But it's also important to remember that your healing is ultimately up to you. No one else can do the work for you, and no one else can give you the answers you seek. You have to be willing to look within yourself, to confront your own fears and doubts, and to take responsibility for your own growth and transformation. This might involve some deep soul searching and self-reflection. It might require you to confront some painful truths about yourself or your past relationships. It might mean letting go of old stories or beliefs that no longer serve you and embracing new ones that empower and inspire you. But through it all, remember this: you are worthy of love, respect, and happiness. You deserve to be treated with kindness, compassion, and understanding. And you have the power within you to create the kind of life and relationships that truly fulfill you, no matter what anyone else might say or do. So keep going. Keep learning and growing and evolving. Keep surrounding yourself with people and experiences that lift you up and make you feel alive. And most importantly, keep believing in yourself and your own inherent worth and value. Because the truth is, emotionally detaching from someone is not just about letting go of them. It's about making space for something new and better to come into your life. It's about creating room for growth, for joy, for love, and for all the incredible possibilities that await you on the other side of this challenge. And as you do this work, as you continue to heal and transform and evolve, remember that you are not alone. Remember that there are countless others who have walked this path before you, who have faced their own struggles and challenges and come out the other side stronger, wiser, and more resilient than ever. Draw strength from their stories, learn from their examples, and know that whatever happens, whatever challenges you face, you have the power within you to overcome them and to create a life that truly lights you up from the inside out. So keep going, my friend. Keep shining your light, keep spreading your love, and keep believing in the incredible power and potential that lies within you. The world needs your unique gifts and talents, and there is so much beauty and magic waiting for you on the other side of this journey. Trust the process. Trust yourself. And know that no matter what happens, you are always, always worthy of the very best that life has to offer. You've got this, and I'm cheering you on every step of the way. As you continue to emotionally detach from someone, it's important to remember that this process is not about erasing them from your life entirely. It's not about pretending they never existed or denying the impact they had on you. Rather, it's about finding a new way to relate to them, one that honors your own needs and boundaries while still allowing for compassion and understanding. This might mean setting clear limits on how much time you spend together or what topics you're willing to discuss. It might mean learning to communicate in a more assertive and self-protective way. Or it might mean simply changing the way you think about the relationship and the role it plays in your life. Whatever form it takes, remember that emotionally detaching from someone is ultimately a way of caring for yourself. It's about recognizing that your own well-being and happiness matter, and that you have the right to prioritize them in your life. And as you do this, as you learn to put yourself first and set healthy boundaries, you might find that other areas of your life start to shift and change as well. You might find yourself attracting new people and opportunities that align with your values and goals. You might discover new passions or interests that light you up from the inside out. And you might start to see yourself in a whole new light as someone who is strong, capable, and deserving of all the love and joy that life has to offer. So keep going, keep exploring and experimenting and taking risks. Keep pushing yourself out of your comfort zone and embracing new challenges and adventures. And above all, keep believing in yourself and your own inherent worth and value. Because the truth is, emotionally detaching from someone is not the end of the story. It's just the beginning of a whole new chapter. A chapter where you get to be the hero of your own journey, the creator of your own destiny, and the architect of your own happiness. And as you step into this new chapter, remember that you are not defined by your past relationships or experiences. You are not limited by the opinions or expectations of others. You are a unique and precious soul with your own special gifts and talents to offer the world. So let your light shine. Let your voice be heard. And let your heart lead the way even when the path ahead feels uncertain or unclear. Trust that the universe has your back and that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. And above all, remember this: you are loved, you are valued, and you are worthy of all the incredible blessings that life has in store for you. So keep going, my friend. Keep growing and learning and evolving. And know that no matter what happens, you have the strength, the courage, and the resilience to handle it with grace and ease. You've got this, and I'm cheering you on every step of the way. Your future isn't determined by luck or chance, it's shaped by the habits you build today. You know, life is a funny thing. We're all out here chasing success, chasing happiness, trying to figure out how to live our best lives. But what I've learned over the years is this success isn't about what you achieve. It's not about what you have. It's about who you are. The truth is, your habits, what you do when nobody's watching, those are the things that will define your destiny. See, greatness doesn't just show up at your door one day. You've got to build it brick by brick, day by day. And those bricks, they're your habits. You don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your habits. So tonight, we're not talking about dreams. We're talking about the choices you make every single day, the discipline it takes, and the commitment to show up, even when it's hard. Because if you can master that, oh, let me tell you, there's nothing that can stop you. Habit one, be proactive. Being proactive is about mindset, but it's also about consistent, deliberate action. It's a shift in thinking where you stop seeing yourself as a passenger in life and start seeing yourself as the driver. No more sitting back and hoping things work out. You take responsibility for your outcomes because you know that your decisions, your actions, and even your attitude are shaping your reality every single day. Imagine this life throws curveballs. It's guaranteed. Unexpected challenges, setbacks, and problems are inevitable. But the proactive person doesn't sit there and let these things derail them. Instead, they anticipate obstacles. They plan ahead. They prepare themselves mentally and emotionally, so when life throws a challenge, they're ready to face it head on. It's about looking at the opportunities in every situation, even when things seem tough. Instead of saying, why is this happening to me? The proactive person asks, what can I learn from this? They don't complain about the problem, they work on the solution. They focus on what can be done, and they do it no excuses, no waiting for someone else to take the first step. Proactive people also understand that their decisions today echo into their future. They think long term. They don't just react impulsively to what feels good in the moment. They consider how their actions today will impact their goals tomorrow. Every action, no matter how small, is aligned with their bigger purpose. Think of it like planting seeds. You don't plant them today and expect a full-grown tree tomorrow. You nurture it, water it, and protect it from the elements. Over time, it grows and bears fruit. Being proactive is that same long-term commitment, knowing that the actions you take now, no matter how small, will pay off in ways you may not even see yet. It's about creating momentum in your life. When you're proactive, you start to build positive habits that compound over time. Little by little, your consistent efforts stack up and push you forward. Proactive people are intentional with their time and energy. They don't wait for motivation, they create it through their discipline and focus. And here's the real beauty of it: being proactive gives you control, not over the world, but over yourself. It's about owning your choices, your responses, and your path forward. The more you practice it, the more resilient you become, because you're no longer at the mercy of external forces. You realize that the power to shape your life has always been in your hands. Habit 2, begin with the end. Begin with the end in mind is about vision. It's about knowing where you're going before you even start the journey. Think about it like this: if you were building a house, you wouldn't just start hammering nails into wood and hope for the best. You'd have a blueprint. You'd know exactly what the finished home should look like, how many rooms there are, where the walls and windows go. The same concept applies to your life. When you begin with the end in mind, you're essentially creating a personal vision of what you want your future to look like. It's more than just setting goals. It's about defining your values, your principles, and the kind of person you want to become. It's a conscious choice to think deeply about your long-term destination, whether in your career, relationships, health, or personal growth. Having a clear vision of the end shapes the decisions you make in the present. It guides your steps, helps you prioritize, and aligns your daily actions with your ultimate purpose. Without this clear picture, you risk drifting through life, reacting to whatever comes your way instead of taking deliberate steps toward your desired outcomes. Think about it like a compass. Your vision is your true north, giving you direction no matter what challenges you face or how lost you might feel. When distractions or setbacks come along, and they always will, having that end goal in mind keeps you anchored. It allows you to make decisions today that are in alignment with the future you want to create. But here's the thing, beginning with the end in mind also requires you to step outside of the moment and think beyond immediate gratification. It's about looking at the bigger picture. What do you truly want out of life? Not just right now, but in the long run? What kind of legacy do you want to leave behind? These are the questions that shape your path. It's not just about achieving success in terms of wealth, status, or accolades, although those may be part of it. It's also about fulfilling your deeper purpose, your calling. What do you want your life to stand for? When you define that, everything else becomes clearer. And it's important to understand that beginning with the end in mind isn't a one-time thing. It's an ongoing practice of reflection and realignment. As you grow and evolve, your vision may shift, and that's okay. The key is to always keep checking in with yourself, making sure your actions are in harmony with your desired outcomes. This habit gives you clarity and focus. It helps you avoid getting lost in the noise of day-to-day life. When you know where you're headed, the journey becomes more purposeful, and every step, no matter how small, takes you closer to that ultimate vision you've crafted for yourself. Habit 3, put first things first. Put first things first is about prioritization. It's where the rubber meets the road. You set your vision. You know what the end looks like. But now you've got to organize your life in a way that reflects those priorities. This habit is about discipline and execution, doing the things that matter most, even when they're hard or less urgent. At its core, put first things first is about focusing on what's truly important rather than getting caught up in the noise of the urgent. It's easy to spend your time on tasks that seem pressing, emails, meetings, or daily distractions, but they might not actually move you closer to your goals. This habit challenges you to step back and ask, is this action helping me move toward the life I've envisioned? Think of your time like a bucket. You have big rocks representing your most important priorities, your health, relationships, career goals, personal development. Then you've got smaller pebbles, which are less important tasks that still need to be done. And finally, you've got sand, the small, trivial things that fill up your day, like checking social media or mindlessly scrolling through emails. If you fill your bucket with sand first, there's no room for the big rocks. But if you start by placing the big rocks, everything else can fit around them. Putting first things first is about identifying those big rocks in your life and making sure they get your attention and effort. It means carving out time for the things that align with your vision and values, even when other distractions demand your immediate attention. It's about saying no to things that aren't aligned with your priorities. That's where the real challenge lies. Most people are pulled in 1,000 different directions, trying to juggle too many things at once. But when you're clear on what matters most, you can be more selective with your time. You learn to say no to the things that don't serve your larger goals so you can say yes to what truly counts. And it's not just about managing your time, but also your energy. You can't do everything at once, and you shouldn't try. Prioritization means focusing on a few key things that will make the biggest impact. It's about being intentional with your efforts, directing them toward what will produce real results rather than just spinning your wheels on tasks that feel urgent but don't contribute to your long-term success. Put first things first is understanding the difference between what's urgent and what's important. Urgency often demands immediate action, but it doesn't always align with importance. Important tasks are those that directly impact your goals, but they don't always come with a flashing red light. It's easy to push them aside because they don't seem as pressing in the moment. For example, Building a strong relationship with your family, investing time in your health, or developing a skill, these are important but not necessarily urgent. They don't demand your attention in the same way an overflowing inbox or an approaching deadline does. But over time, if you neglect these important areas, you'll find yourself in crisis mode, trying to make up for lost time. Putting first things first is about having the discipline to do what matters, even when other things seem more pressing. It requires a high level of self-awareness and constant evaluation of how you're spending your time. You have to be intentional about protecting your time and energy for the things that align with your vision. By focusing on the most important task each day, you build momentum and make meaningful progress towards your long-term goals. This habit demands commitment and consistency, not just in moments of calm, but especially when life gets hectic. It's about making tough choices and sticking to your priorities when the world around you pulls in different directions. Habit 4, think win-win. Think win-win is all about shifting your mindset when it comes to interactions with others. It's about seeking mutual benefit in all relationships, both personal and professional, rather than seeing life as a zero-sum game where one person's gain is another's loss. This mindset is rooted in the belief that there's enough success, opportunity, and abundance for everyone, and that the best outcomes are those where all parties feel they've benefited. When you embrace the think win-win habit, you stop approaching situations with a competitive or combative mindset. Instead, you begin to see others not as rivals, but as collaborators. It's about fostering relationships where everyone feels valued, respected, and heard. In business, friendships, or family relationships, this mentality encourages cooperation over competition and compromise over conflict. To think win-win requires a deep sense of empathy and understanding. You're not just focused on what you want, but also on what the other person wants. It's a balancing act of assertiveness and empathy, where you openly communicate your needs while also listening to and considering the needs of others. This mutual respect is the foundation of any win outcome. It's easy to fall into the trap of a win-lose mentality, where one person seeks to win at the expense of the other. But in the long run, this approach is often destructive, breeding resentment and damaging relationships. In contrast, win-win thinking builds trust, loyalty, and cooperation. It leads to solutions that strengthen relationships rather than weaken them. Win-win isn't about being soft or giving in, though. It doesn't mean sacrificing your own needs or settling for less just to make someone else happy. It's about finding solutions that are fair and mutually beneficial. You maintain your own integrity and objectives while ensuring the other party feels the same. This balance creates sustainable, healthy outcomes where both sides can thrive. One of the key elements of win-win thinking is the abundance mentality. People with an abundance mentality believe that there's enough to go around, that success and opportunity aren't limited. In contrast, a scarcity mentality operates from the belief that if someone else wins, you lose. It's the fear that opportunities are finite, which leads to competition and defensiveness. With an abundance mindset, however, you realize that collaboration often creates more value for everyone involved. By working together and helping others succeed, you don't diminish your own chances for success, you enhance them. Win-win outcomes foster a sense of shared accomplishment where success is multiplied, not divided. Another component of thinking win-win is the idea of seeking third alternatives. In many cases, people think there are only two options, my way or your way, but win-win thinking encourages a broader view. Instead of being locked into a mindset of compromise where both sides give up something, you look for a third solution that meets the needs of both parties, sometimes even better than the original options. This type of thinking requires creativity and open-mindedness. You have to be willing to move beyond your initial position, explore new possibilities, and think outside the box. By doing so, you often discover solutions that satisfy everyone involved, allowing both parties to walk away feeling like winners. Thinking win-win also requires a certain level of maturity. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking only of yourself, especially when emotions are high or the stakes feel significant. But win-win thinking requires emotional intelligence, being able to step back, manage your own feelings, and approach situations with a calm, collaborative mindset. It's also about being confident in your own worth. People who struggle with a win-win mindset often operate from a place of insecurity, feeling that they must win to prove themselves or protect their position. But true win-win thinking comes from a place of self-assurance. You're secure enough in your own value that you don't need to diminish someone else's worth to feel successful. Think win-win isn't just about solving problems. It's about creating an atmosphere of trust and cooperation in every interaction. When people know that you're looking out for their interests as well as your own, they're more likely to do the same for you. This creates a positive, productive cycle where both parties feel safe to share openly, negotiate fairly, and collaborate freely. This habit applies in all areas of life. In business, it leads to better partnerships, stronger teams, and long-lasting client relationships. In personal relationships, it fosters deeper connections, healthier communication, and mutual respect. Habit 5, seek first to understand, then to be understood. Seek first to understand, then to be understood is a principle that centers on improving how we communicate with others by prioritizing empathy and active listening. It emphasizes the importance of truly understanding another person's perspective before expressing your own thoughts or solutions. Active listening involves more than just hearing the words someone is saying. It requires paying attention to their emotions, body language, and underlying concerns. It's about fully immersing yourself in their viewpoint and demonstrating genuine interest and respect for their experience. This approach not only helps you grasp the complete picture of what they are communicating, but also shows that you value their perspective. This habit requires patience and self-restraint. Instead of immediately jumping in with your own responses or solutions, you take the time to listen deeply. This thoughtful approach helps build a foundation of trust and mutual respect as the other person feels heard and understood. It shifts the focus from merely waiting for your turn to speak to actively engaging with their point of view. When you have made an effort to understand the other person, you create a more receptive environment for your own views. People are more likely to listen to and consider your perspective if they feel you've genuinely listened to theirs first. This leads to more effective communication and helps prevent misunderstandings and conflicts. The habit also involves validating the other person's feelings and concerns. It's not about agreeing with everything they say, but acknowledging that their perspective is important and worth considering. By doing so, you foster a collaborative atmosphere where both parties can work together to find common ground or solutions. In practical terms, this habit can transform how conflicts are resolved and how relationships are built. It encourages open dialogue and facilitates a deeper connection between individuals. It's a powerful tool for creating a positive communication environment where mutual understanding and respect are at the forefront. Habit 6, synergize. Synergize is about harnessing the power of collaboration and teamwork to achieve outcomes that are greater than the sum of individual efforts. It's the principle of working together to create solutions that none of the parties involved could have reached alone. This habit emphasizes the value of combining diverse perspectives and strengths to produce superior results. At its core, synergy is about leveraging the unique skills, talents, and viewpoints of each team member. It recognizes that each person brings something different to the table, and by integrating these diverse inputs, you can create innovative solutions and achieve goals more effectively. This is different from simply working in a group. It's about creating a cohesive, collaborative effort where the interaction of different elements generates a result that exceeds what each individual could accomplish separately. Synergy thrives on trust and open communication. For true synergy to occur, team members need to be willing to share their ideas, listen to others, and build on each other's strengths. It involves creating an environment where everyone feels valued and where their contributions are respected. This collaborative atmosphere encourages creativity and problem solving. As team members feel free to express their ideas and challenge each other constructively. This habit also requires a shift from traditional problem-solving approaches. Instead of working in isolation or competing against each other, synergizing involves coming together to explore new possibilities. It means approaching challenges with an open mind and being willing to compromise or adapt in order to find the best solution. A key aspect of synergy is understanding and appreciating differences. In a synergistic team, diversity is seen as an asset rather than a hurdle. Different perspectives and experiences are viewed as opportunities for growth and innovation. By embracing these differences and working through them, teams can develop more robust and creative solutions. Effective synergy also involves clear roles and responsibilities. For collaboration to be productive, each team member needs to understand their role and how it fits into the larger effort. This clarity helps prevent overlap and ensures that everyone is contributing in a way that supports the collective goal. It also involves coordinating efforts and integrating the various components of the project or problem to achieve a seamless and efficient outcome. Synergizing is not just about achieving immediate goals, but also about building relationships and fostering a positive team dynamic. It creates a sense of unity and shared purpose, where team members are motivated to work together and support each other. This collaborative spirit not only enhances productivity, but also improves morale and satisfaction within the team. In practice, synergy can lead to breakthrough innovations and successful outcomes that might not have been possible through individual efforts alone. It involves creating a collaborative culture where the collective intelligence and effort of the group lead to exceptional results. By embracing synergy, teams and organizations can achieve greater success and drive positive change through effective collaboration and integration. Habit 7, sharpen the saw. Sharpen the saw is about the continual process of self-improvement and renewal. It emphasizes the importance of regularly investing in yourself to maintain and enhance your effectiveness across all areas of life: physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. Just like a saw needs to be sharpened regularly to cut efficiently, your personal growth and well-being require ongoing attention and care. This habit involves taking proactive steps to renew and refresh yourself, ensuring that you can perform at your best. It's about creating a balanced approach to personal development, where you make time for activities that rejuvenate and strengthen each dimension of your life. Physical renewal, this includes taking care of your body through exercise, proper nutrition, and adequate rest. Regular physical activity not only improves your health, but also boosts your energy levels and enhances your overall productivity. It's about making time for activities that keep you in good shape and prevent burnout. Mental renewal, this involves engaging in activities that stimulate and challenge your mind. It could be through reading, learning new skills, or pursuing intellectual hobbies. Mental renewal helps keep your mind sharp, enhances problem-solving abilities, and fosters creativity. It's about dedicating time to personal growth and intellectual development. Emotional renewal, emotional well-being is about managing stress, building resilience, and maintaining a positive outlook. This can be achieved through practices like mindfulness, journaling, or connecting with supportive friends and family. Emotional renewal helps you navigate challenges with a balanced mindset and fosters healthy relationships. Spiritual renewal, this aspect focuses on finding purpose and meaning in life. It could involve spiritual practices, reflection, or engaging in activities that align with your values and beliefs. Beliefs. Spiritual renewal helps provide a sense of direction and fulfillment, contributing to overall well-being. Sharpening the saw requires intentional effort and regular practice. It's about setting aside time for these renewal activities and making them a priority in your life. It's easy to become so focused on achieving your goals that you neglect your own well-being, but without regular renewal, your effectiveness and satisfaction can diminish over time. This habit also involves a commitment to self-care and self-awareness. It's about recognizing when you're feeling depleted or out of balance and taking the necessary steps to address it. By prioritizing your own renewal, you maintain a high level of performance and resilience, enabling you to better handle challenges and seize opportunities. Overall, Sharpen the Saw is about creating a sustainable approach to personal development. It ensures that you remain effective and energized by continually investing in yourself and maintaining balance across all aspects of your life. In wrapping up our journey through these 7 transformative habits, remember that each one is a step towards a more empowered, purposeful life. We've explored how being proactive sets the stage for taking control of our destiny. We've seen how beginning with the end in mind creates a clear vision of what we want to achieve. We've learned the importance of putting first things first, prioritizing what truly matters. Thinking win-win reminds us to seek mutual benefits in our interactions, fostering relationships built on respect and cooperation. Seeking first to understand, then to be understood, shifts our communication from mere exchange to genuine connection. Synergizing teaches us that collaboration can produce results far greater than individual efforts alone. And finally, sharpening the saw is the commitment to continuous self-improvement, ensuring we remain at our best in all aspects of life. Each of these habits, when woven together, forms a powerful framework for personal and professional growth. They are not just actions, but principles that, when practiced consistently, lead to lasting change and fulfillment. Ladies and gentlemen, let me leave you with this: life is a series of choices and actions, and the path to greatness is paved with discipline and purpose. These 7 habits aren't just a set of steps to follow, they're a way of life. They're about pushing yourself to be better, not just for yourself, but for those around you. So as you move forward, remember this: don't just go through life, grow through it. Embrace these habits with passion. Let them guide you through the challenges and triumphs. And when you hit those tough spots, and you will remember that the strength to overcome lies in your hands. You've got what it takes to rise, to shine, and to make a difference. Now go out there and put these principles into action. Be bold, be relentless, and be unstoppable. Your journey to greatness starts now. Thank you. And may your path be filled with purpose and success.